You ever see something and like the idea of where it's going, but its execution is, well, to be blunt, terrible? That's this ban list in a nutshell. Hey guys, Sonic Smash Bros. Here, and yeah, I think it's time I talk about the ban list a little bit. Because, yeah, it's definitely something to say the least, and by something I mean, no, just no. But I will credit that there is an idea. But first things first, let's talk about a major failing. The skill rebalances. Every single one of these changes, minus Master of Rights 2, but we don't know about that one yet, was a failure. Red Eyes Roulette, it got buffed to where it only searches out a random Red Eyes spell or trap card. Which means, and I'm not kidding you on this, I am seeing literally 6 monsters and 24 spell or trap cards. It has gotten to the point of just being trap spam with a Red Eyes coat of paint. I feared this would happen if this skill got buffed, and lo and behold, it happened. Zexal Ultimate Unite, no longer restricting the extra deck, which you would think is good until you realize they can play Sanafon the Sky Prison and lock you out of the graveyard for 2 turns. Not okay. Like, actually not okay. That is toxic, and Sanafon, I'd still say needs to get banned because Graveyard Floodgates are cancer as is. But nonetheless, Holly Angel Trick, the only thing that changed is you get the 3FX healing effect. So you can essentially do the same thing 3FX Playmaker was already doing since day 1. Heal with Crimson Heart, draw 2, sit on triple back row, and a Korribane in hand. That's kinda all this skill does now. And Master of Rights 2, again, we don't know. It's likely we're getting ritual support, we're not sure. But yeah, these skill changes were A, not good at all, minus, Utopia getting a little bit less restricted because Zexal Ultimate Unite is actually a 6 skill. Love that thing. But honestly, as bad as that was, all you really needed to hit were the 4 big skills. Switcheroo, Sealed Tombs, Clearing Excel, and Raging Pendulum, especially the last 2. Well, and Sealed Tombs especially, because, Graveyard Floodgate, not fun. But that's not the only issue with this ban list. The skill rebalancing, or lack thereof, is a massive issue in and of itself, but the ban list. So, the good thing right out the gate. Nightmare Mermaid is completely gone. It's banned. Good. Very, 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 very good. It's legitimately banned in all other formats for a reason, and now it's getting finally banned in Duel Links. We no longer can make the I have a pen, I have a pineapple full Orcus combo meme, because Mermaid was the cause of it all. So, it's banned. Good thing. Doom Rider Limit 1, fine. Definitely a start. Gaga Revenge Limit 1, you can tell they wanted to kill Odd Eyes Onima Orcus builds. Barfa Limit 1, because Burning Abyss is getting its main Xyz Beatrice Limit 3'd. Then again, Burning Abyss in general is just getting changed. Orchestrated Release Limit 1. Spoiler alert! Nobody's playing that right now with post-ban list builds. They're playing Orchestrated Babel. Okay, next up, Limit 2s. Karakuri getting lifted a little bit. Nice. They aren't really doing much. Moray of Greed. Moray of Greed. Moray of Greed. I'm not a fan of this. I am a Territory of the Sharks hater because that skill is not restricted whatsoever. I'm not a fan of Moray of Greed coming off so early. Double Yo-Yo. It's not enough. Speedroids are still broken as hell, and they can still cheat out Crystal Wing for free. But it's at least a start. And Burning Abyss in general is just getting changed. We'll ignore the Silver Rocket for a second. So, first things first, Tour Guide from the Underworld and Beatrice getting limit 3 means you can only play the one of each, generally. And where is it? Oh yeah, Seer is coming off the list. So with that and Farfa going limit 1, Burning Abyss has been changed. I don't agree with Seer coming off the list. I think it's Skarm is the one that only activates at the end phase. That one probably should have come off instead. That's just me. Skarm is fine. Scrap Recycler limit 3. Spoiler alert, this does nothing. Everybody's already dropping Scrap Recycler for Apprentice Illusion Magician. Silver Rocket limit 3. You can tell they really wanted you to not banish Odd Eyes Raging. We're gonna keep doing that anyway. Just saying, Konami. But this is really a slap on the wrist. Rockets are fine. They're literally exactly the same as they were. Tatsunoko, I have some choice words for, but we will get to that later. Pendulum Call limit 3. Should have been limit 1. This card is busted. And then we get to the unlimits. Goki rematch and finishing move. No, I heavily disagree with this. This came off the list way too early. Crystron Impact, fine. Crystrons aren't really changing anything with this. Their game is basically the same as ever. This is fine. Minus, the fact that they can play Kite right now. Yay. And by yay, I mean why. Cynet Crosswipe, again, it's fine to be fair, but Salad Talker is back. We did not want that. We wanted that gone. We wanted Salamangreat and Code Talkers to be separate decks. Just saying. Swallow's Nest, fine. Won't really change too much. Raid Raptor Strangolanius, I'm interested to see where that goes for Raid Raptor. And Misjudge, again, I'm not a fan of this one. Purely due to it being part of a toxic strategy back in the day that we do not ever want to see come back. So, let me just make this clear. A good number of these changes, I like the idea for. Attempt to keep the extra deck safe from Silver Rocket a little bit. Change how Burning Abyss works, just to, alter its playstyle a little bit. It's weird. Kill off the Odd Eyes Onima Orcus build, which failed. Odd Eyes Orcus is still a thing. And hitting Speedwords a little bit because they're clearly overbearing. Again, I like all the ideas they're going for with the hits, less so the buffs, but they just aren't enough. They pretty much do nothing and don't change the game in any way whatsoever at high level. And then there's the Tatsunoko change. This one is the elephant in the room for me. So, you might think, oh, limit 3, that's a buff, right? Well, for us Synchron boys, let me go ahead and equip this real quick, because I was equipped playing this earlier. For us Synchron boys, this is kind of a nerf. And you'll see why in a second. Tatsunoko was limit 1. And this was needed for our 2-card Quasar combo, which is Jet and Doppel. That's why we play the 2 Jets and the Tunic. With this means we either have to give up the Shooting Star float to play Jet Warrior as an overtake target, and play overtake instead of tuning, or we keep the extract the same, and go down 1 Jet, essentially. So we're now down to 2 Jets, no more than that. And then probably play another Synchron Explorer or something, I'm not sure. But the point is, that one small change, even though it doesn't seem like much, kills us. Because we lose out on our consistency, we lose out on a lot of things, really. Let's just keep that Cosmic Cyclone where it belongs. Mind you, this does mean we can play Crystal Wing, but if I'm gonna be honest, it's not worth doing it like this. There is another way to make this way more consistent. And so, we either do one of 2 things. Drop Bond Illuminates the Future to play Shooting Star Road again. Here's the build I was playtesting a little bit earlier in the middle of my King of Games climb before ultimately trying to go back to Bond Illuminates and figure something out. It worked decently enough, I'd say, but had its issues. Too many issues, in fact. To where I kind of prefer Bond Illuminates. So, yeah, this is what I ended up working with. It took a while for me to figure out my ratios, let's just say that. So, yeah. The entire theming of my opinion of this ban list can be summed up as great idea, awful execution. Because here's the worst part. Not only did your little slaps on the wrist do basically nothing, you brought attention to these decks even more as, hey, these are what are breaking the game right now, so everybody's just gonna play these mindlessly and just win for free. Or at least expect to win for free. And so with that in mind, I've seen some pretty notable people decide to take a break from Duel Links because of how unhealthy the game is about to become, as if it wasn't already unhealthy as it is. It's just full of toxicity right now, and this ban list not only doing absolutely nothing to hit it, but bringing attention to the toxic problems is only going to make things worse. While there were great ideas, the ball was dropped so heavily it's not even funny. So, what does that mean for us Synchron players? Well, I do have a couple of builds I could profile. The main one I'm going to be showing is the one you just saw on screen a couple minutes ago, the Bond Illuminates the Future build with Mono Synchron. So, look forward to that fairly soon. I do think it's a build that works decently enough at combating the metagame. So, with this going into post-ban list, I think we'll at least be okay, definitely decent. But the ban list itself was terrible despite the ideas being absolutely incredible, minus Moray of Greed. That made no sense, and Seer I don't agree with at all. But also I think the worst of it is, they're about to make the metagame even worse than it already was by default by A, bringing Goki back to its basically full power, and B, bringing back freaking Salad Talker. Crosswipe had to get unlimited, but you need to find some way to separate Salamangreat and Code Talker. Just saying. So, I don't know. This format's not going to be fun going forward, and I think it's just going to get worse. As for whether the next ban list will improve things, it better. Because at this point, people already are calling this ban list a failure before it's even out. And if you want proof of concept, a recent top 32 that was using the post-ban list rules had 8 Odd Eyes Orchist, 1 Gandora Orchist, 3 Pure Orchist, 11 Speedroids, and 1 Synchron with Speedroid package. And that doesn't prove that Orchist, Odd Eyes, and Speedroid are over-centralizing as is, as well as other toxic skills like Sealed Tombs. What will? And they didn't even change the problems. They didn't even hit the problems, really. In fact, they only made the situation worse, especially with the skill changes on top of that. It's just going to turn this format into a complete and total mess that nobody is a fan of. And to those of you who are taking a break from the game, I honestly agree with you. I don't blame you. Because this format is just not looking good anymore. We thought it would be the ban list to actually save the game, and then we looked more into things. That's kind of on us for jumping the gun on things here. But at the same time, at least they know what the problems are. So, here's hoping that they realize that this is nowhere near enough and they release an emergency ban list to actually start hitting more problems. But, I don't know. I doubt it, but we'll see what happens in the future. So, on that note, I've said all I can really say. Definitely a more positive take than my Jet and Tuning hit rant. that's for sure. Although I still say at least one of them can come off the list by now, that's just me. It's probably going to be tuning because Jet is a bit too strong on its own to just be left unchecked like that. Even though I think they'd keep tuning on the list to mark it overtake, I'm not sure. But we'll see how things go. But stay tuned, guys. The profile for the new Synchron Quasar list is coming up. So until that video, later, guys.